Hello, I am going to walk you through our first SPSS assignment, which is for discussion 2. So what I have done is opened up my SPSS version here, and you'll start off with a pop-up box. And this box right here is probably blank for you because you haven't used any data yet. So what you can do is just cancel out of this box and you'll end up with your open window with a menu on here that should look familiar from lots of other programs you use. In this case, if we go to File, Open, Data, it'll let you browse to wherever it was that you saved the data set that you downloaded. So I'm going to browse over there and double click on it, and it will open up. And what you see is actually the data view of the data. And so what that means is you have all of your variables across the top, and each row is a person. So person 1 is 20 years old, has a gender of 2. We'll get to what that means in a minute. And you can see here all of their information. The other view that you can click on with the tab at the bottom of the screen is the variable view. And in this case, each row is a variable and tells you about that information. So for instance, age is numeric, and that's a scale variable, which is what SPSS uses to call interval or ratio scale variables. Gender is a nominal variable, as we'd expect. And remember that 2, we can click here and see that 1 equals male and 2 equals female. So this tells you about all of your variables that you're going to use. So we can click over to our assignment and look at what it is that we're going to do. And right now it says for this assignment, we're just going to focus on age, gender, anger, and efficacy. And if you look at what we want to do in terms of what needs to be done in SPSS, first we want to obtain the frequencies, central tendency, so mean, median, mode, and variability, probably the variance and the standard deviation, for age, anger, and efficacy. So we'll need to do that. And then also up here, we're going to need to describe the shape of the frequency distribution. So we're going to need a graph for anger and efficacy that's going to show us that distribution. So we can go back to our data, and all we need to do this is go to Analyze, Descriptive Statistics, Frequencies. Okay, so we had age, and we had anger, so we click on that, click the arrow to move it over, and efficacy is down here. We click on that, move it over. I have a couple variables at the end here that you probably don't have when I was working with this for something else, so don't worry about that. Just make sure you've got age, anger, and efficacy moved over to the right side. Then we click on statistics. Now we wanted those central tendency measures, so we'll do mean, median, and mode. And we want that variability, or they call dispersion. So we're going to do standard deviation and variance. Click continue. Now charts. So we can choose from bar charts, pie charts, histograms. Anger and efficacy are probably more continuous kinds of variables, so we're going to click histograms. And with normal curve, you'll see it'll draw the normal curve, and it'll help you figure out normality a little bit easier. So we're going to click that and hit continue. And we're going to keep this box here checked, display frequency tables, because we want to make sure that we get those tables. And we click OK. And this is going to bring up another window, and this is your output window. Now I'm going to save this as a PDF, so you'll be able to take a look at it when you finish listening to this recording in more detail. But what we have here starting are our list of variables, and here's where your measures of central tendency are and your variability for each of the variables. Then come your frequency tables. So again, this is the frequency of each of the values within each variable. And then come your histograms. And we did get one for age, but we don't need that for this assignment. Then we have one for anger, and we have one for efficacy. And that is all you need to answer the questions for the assignment. Not so difficult, huh? Let me know if you have questions. I'm always glad to answer them. Thank you. Good luck.